Today on Geeks of the Movies, we're using old props because we can't think of any new ideas. Hola Geek fans, welcome back. It's that time again. It's 4:30, it's Friday. We're shooting at the luxurious Goodrich Studios International, and this is Geeks at the Movies. Today I'm going to be your host. My name is Shane Goodrich, and joining me as always is our illustrious lead writer, the Mr. Jacob Desitels.
What's going on, guys? I'm ready to talk about some movies and TV. Are you, Shane?
Alrighty then, he had the extra line. I was waiting for it. We got so much exciting stuff to talk about, but before we talk about the exciting and awesome stuff, let's move to item 1 of the Geek News. And this is the new Ghostbusters reboot trailer has been released. We just saw it. We just came fresh viewing. Open-minded viewing, I should say. I was very open-minded about this project, very excited about this project. Jacob, what were your initial thoughts to the trailer?
Well, it started off, and we get to see that cool-looking new ghost. They're using the special effects to the advantage in this movie, and it started off kind of like I expected. A ghost throws up on one of the characters. Well, whatever. We'll move on from that. But then the rest of the trailer, it just continues with that type of comedy, and it just didn't work. It didn't work at all. I thought the only thing that I liked about it is these special effects and what they're doing with how they can make the ghosts look now and how they can go into that supernatural realm, but it just didn't work for me at all, really.
This trailer was terrible. Right from the get-go, I was a little confused because this is a reboot.
Yes, yeah.
But then it references the events from 30 years ago.
Yeah, that's how it starts off. It was 30 years ago. 4 scientists saved the world, but they've been marketing that. Well, they haven't been marketing really, but for the people that know about this movie, they've been saying this is a reboot. It's not a continuation. So someone that isn't in this movie sphere watching the show is going to be like, oh, this is a sequel. Right,
but none of the original cast members are shown. Yeah. I mean, I think it is a reboot, but they're doing some weird thing where it's a pseudo-reboot.
Yeah, I don't know
what's happening. But then you get to the major issue, and that's what you said, is the humor. Over and over again, everything felt flat. Not only did it feel flat, I actually found this trailer as it went on and on to be slightly kind of offensive. It had the 4 women, and some of the jokes were just like, oh, we're dumb women, and I cringed at some of the jokes. They were so stupid. And then they had the black woman come on, and she's really stereotypical. Yeah. But I mean, it was a little just ridiculous. Yeah. I thought I would see this movie if I was a woman and go, oh, come on, this is just stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really know what they're going for now because it seemed like...
Who are they appealing to?
Yeah, because it seemed like this is going to be, all woman cast. It's going to have all these stars in it.
Yeah.
And it's going to appeal to, just everyone that's fans of the original and just fans that want to see, a fresh take on the project. Right. But it seems like they're just mucked up all of that.
Yes, exactly. And it seems like they just added all this humor in there that kind of undermines the cast themselves. Because a lot of times they feel kind of stupid and dumb. Like, why are you even in here? What's your role? I mean, they claim, one person's an engineer and another person's a scientist of some sort. But I don't believe it. None of it's believable to me. Yeah. No, you're not a scientist. You're not an engineer. Yeah. No, it's just dumb.
The only character I liked was the one that was I think she was the engineer one, the one with the blonde hair and the glasses, because she didn't really say anything throughout the entire trailer. And I don't know, when you go back to the original Ghostbusters, they were dumb. They the characters they were kind of stupid. And they made a lot of mistakes throughout the movie, but you don't really want to. You're trying to, make this as a new take on it. You don't really need to do that again.
No.
And just with that type of humor, it just doesn't work.
I saw those original set photos, and I immediately, contrary to what I said at the beginning, was not looking forward to this movie because it looked too cheesy. It looked like it's gonna use some dumb humor. I don't know about this. And then I saw the trailer, and I basically, at first it was what I expected, and then it was worse than I expected. And I had low expectations because some of the humor was just.
Yeah.
I was just like, was that a joke? I think that was supposed to be a joke, but I'm not sure.
I was. I remember. I thought I was mildly excited for this movie. I was, I was gonna be cautiously optimistic.
Cautiously optimistic.
When I saw the trailer came out, I was like, ooh, I was really excited to watch it because I've kind of been looking forward to this. And we've been waiting for the trailer, and then I clicked on it and then just wasn't excited at all. I'm honestly not looking forward to this movie at all anymore.
No, I mean, I haven't really looked too much on the internet feedback, but I did notice on the YouTube channel where I saw the trailer that it had a majority thumbs down vote.
Yeah.
That's not a good sign. Usually it's pretty easy to get a thumbs up vote on YouTube when there's that many people watching for like a trailer. It's like majority, like 60,000 thumbs down, 40,000 thumbs up. This looks like it could be a complete train wreck, which could be fun to watch, right? It could be fun to see how this plays out. Like a Fantastic Four, except Fantastic Four didn't look like this when it came out. It looked promising.
Yeah.
This just looks terrible.
Yeah, hopefully it's the type of the case where it's the comedy trailer where they actually hide all the good jokes and leave it for the movie and don't put it in the trailer. Like the opposite of what they usually do.
Like the opposite of good advertising.
Yeah.
How you want to get word of mouth out about your movie.
Well,
show them all the garbage. That'll draw them right in.
I don't know. It has a lot of people have been like really excited for this movie because it is Ghostbusters. It's Ghostbusters.
I was never into Ghostbusters, so I guess I missed the element. But another thing that bothered me about the movie was the action scenes.
Yeah.
I think they had Melissa McCartney, like she had like a punch weapon at some point, and she's like fist fighting a ghost. Or what am I even talking about right now?
It seems like there's some kind of weird big battle where they're all fighting ghosts that invaded New York City.
Bang, bang. It's just absurd.
They just gotta say don't cross the streams at one point.
Oh God.
It'll all be good.
We'll all be good. Anyways, let's now move on to something else. Item number 2 of the Geek News. A few months ago, both Idris Elba and Matthew McConaughey, an adaptation of Stephen King's Dark Tower was announced, and now both actors are confirmed to be in it. I got a little confused by your writing, Cobb.
Sorry.
Why don't you explain it?
Alright, so I'm a very big fan of Stephen King and the Dark Tower series, and we talked about this a while ago. The Matthew McConaughey was reported to be in the film, probably as the villain, and then Idris Elba was reported to be in the film, probably as the lead character, and now that's been confirmed. So we got Idris Elba playing as Roland Deschain, the gunslinger, and Matthew McConaughey playing as the Man in Black. I'm not going to spoil who that character is if you're a fan of other Stephen King works and you haven't read these books yet. But
is it Johnny Cash?
No.
Oh.
Well, I guess the evil version of Johnny Cash. But the first book is a Western, so I hope if they're bringing that into this movie, it's going to be like a Western. That's why a lot of people have seen a young Clint Eastwood being Roland Deschain in a possible adaptation.
We tried talking about this before, and I didn't really get a good grasp on it. Maybe let's try this again.
Okay.
What is the Dark Tower? Cobb, make this simple. Last time I was so confused.
Okay, so there's a tower that holds together all of reality, like multiple realities.
I got you. I'm following you, Cobb.
And there's like a crack in it. I don't know. And then the Roland Deschain, the gunslinger, he wants to go to this tower. But, he has to travel through multiple realities and universes to get to it.
And one's a Western.
Yeah, and the first book is a Western.
Okay.
And then it goes off into, more fantastical elements.
Okay.
They go into more fantastical worlds. And he's following this Man in Black, who is a villain from another Stephen King novel. Because that's what Stephen King does. He brings all of these other characters and elements into the Dark Tower series. He connects all of these realities that he's created in other books.
All right. Okay.
And then he gets this band of people together that are, from other dimensions and realities and everything, and they go off to try to find the Dark Tower. And then there's this other guy called the Crimson King. And he's like they mention him a lot in the books, but he's in like the last chapter of the last book, and that's it. But
all right, Cobb, you did well. Don't go on. Wait, there's something else?
There's one other thing.
I'm following you right now.
The Man in Black, he's kind of like Darth Vader, and the Crimson King is kind of like the Emperor. That's the good comparison.
All right, excellent. That was a good synopsis. So I take it you're looking forward to this a lot.
Yeah, and it's never like and all the like the illustrations and everything, Roland Deschain is seen as a white man, but they got Idris Elba to play him, so I like that they're mixing up the races and everything, and I really want to see Matthew McConaughey play a villain, because ever since this movie has been announced, people have been like, he should definitely play that character, and I agree. He would fit that character perfectly, especially after seeing him in Season 1 of True Detective, where he goes to that darker side, and I want to see him be an actual villain now.
All right, then. I'm actually vaguely looking to it based on your description, Cobb. So if your description's wrong, then I'll come back to you.
Yeah, I will.
Very well, then. Let's move on to item number 3. Fox has officially announced release dates for 2 mystery Marvel movies for October 6, 2017 and January 12, 2018. But they've also taken Gambit off of its release date of October of this year. Jacob, I was sure it was going to come out on time, especially after the director change.
I know. This is definitely going to come out this year, but not at all. It wasn't going to. We knew that because they hadn't even started filming after the original director left. They got I can't remember who they got.
Some dude who
he directed Edge of Tomorrow, so I was really excited about it. But they got him on, and then they haven't even started filming or anything yet. So I knew it was going to come out this year, but they took it off. Do you think Gambit's going to be one of these dates they've announced?
I'm not sure. Because of the success, obviously I think this has something to do with the success of Deadpool.
Yeah.
Deadpool is doing huge numbers. It's not like the number 3 R-rated film of all time or something. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy the numbers they're doing. So now they're probably looking at their properties and going, well, let's see, we gave the fans what they wanted. They actually gave you a real comic book movie, no holds bars, no compromises. There's always a bunch of compromises. No, this is Deadpool as Deadpool. Maybe some of these other properties, maybe we need to rethink them. For example, Fantastic Four. They did not give what the fans wanted.
Yeah.
They gave you a different Fantastic Four. It was not the family of the comic book. It was 4 young people that doesn't make any sense, and it was just, it didn't make any sense, right? They saw the failure of Fantastic Four where they gave them something else, what they thought they wanted. And then they saw the success of Deadpool where they went, oh, we gave them what they wanted. Maybe this Gambit movie, maybe we're doing some things that don't make any sense. Maybe the script for this movie doesn't make any sense. Maybe we gotta rethink our strategy. So I'm hoping Deadpool is making them go, you know what, we really should give fans what they want instead of what we think they want. Yeah. Or some new hit take, like the Fantastic Four, and just, a complete mess.
Yeah. A lot of people are saying that no one's really talking about this January 12th, 2018 release date, which is very strange for a superhero movie, for a January release date, especially early January. So I'm thinking this could actually be Gambit, because maybe it's just the case where they're like pushing it off, and they needed to take this early of the year type of release. And a lot of people are saying that Deadpool 2 is going to take the place of Fantastic Four 2, which is, I think it's next year, 2018. I'm not sure. It's but that's a summer release date.
See, I would think that Deadpool would take the January 12th release date.
Yeah,
because it did so well in this downtime right now. The February release date.
That's true, but what you see with a lot of these properties when they put them in this type of this type of release date, and then they do really well, and then they move them to a summer release date because it's a bigger property now. So yeah, I don't know. And then I think one of the other ones could be the X-Force movie that they've been talking about.
Ooh, the R-rated X-Force movie. Yeah. All that graphic nudity and violence that we love.
Yes. No, I don't know, but I want to know when the next proper X-Men movie is going to come out, because we don't know where they're going to go after X-Men Apocalypse.
When's Apocalypse come out?
This year, May.
May. Ooh, yeah. I'm so excited about that. You say that they might want to move Deadpool to the summer, but this seems to me that part of Deadpool's phenomenal success is its release date. Yeah. Right? I mean, the fans loved it, but it's also well, what else am I going to watch right now?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think that it is a very good possibility that it could be this January 12th release date, and it is also a good possibility that it could be released in the summer.
Of course, now that I'm thinking about it, Deadpool's budget was like $58 million, I think I heard, which is even smaller than I thought originally, but are they now going to give it a $200 million massive budget, and it's going to be epic? What are they going to do here?
I hope
it's making that kind of money with this movie.
I hope what they do is they just increase it a little bit. Maybe like 70, 80 million. I hope they give it that type of budget just to make it a little bit bigger, because we want a bigger movie, but we don't want, like
The Avengers or
Yeah.
Deadpool.
yeah, we don't need that. We just want Deadpool like the first movie.
It would fit Deadpool.
Yeah, he's a smaller character, and he's basically like kind of a selfish character at the same time. So he goes after things that fit his needs, and that fits more of a smaller scale of a movie.
Yeah, that's what I think. But I could see him pumping that money into
Yeah.
it and making it big and epic and screwing it up,
Yeah, Fox they're on and off a lot.
Yeah, exactly. They're on and off. They're hit and miss.
You just look at the prequels, the Star Wars prequels. We had those, and then we had X-Men Origins, and then we had Fantastic Four recently.
And the original Fantastic Four
Yeah,
movies.
yeah.
oh, they're terrible. I hate you, Fox, but sometimes I love you. Let's move on now to item number 4. More Fox news. Holy beanstalk. Fox has announced the release dates for Alien Covenant, which will be released on August 4th, 2017, and The Predator, which will be released on March 2nd, 2018. Jacob, in theory, I should be really excited about this.
Yeah.
But I'm not. What are your thoughts?
Well, first of all, I want to talk about something that I didn't realize. The Predator, we were talking about, how it's directed by Shane Black and everything, but it's actually not. It's going to be written by Shane Black, and it's going to be directed by this guy who's directed a movie called Monster Squad. I haven't seen it, don't really know what it's about or anything, but he has worked with Shane Black before, that director, so I'm so excited that it's going to have his stamp on it at least, and it's going to have, their whatever type of chemistry they have together.
He's going to have more photoshopped release promotional material?
Probably.
Oh, God. We talked about it last episode.
Yeah.
They released a photo, this image of Predator. It has some words on it, but it looked like it was like some Photoshop some fan made.
It was basically just to let the fans know that this movie is coming, but if I had seen it, I was just like, oh, that's just a fan-made poster.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I'm glad that these movies are coming out, in the next couple of years, because I'm excited for both more Alien and more Predator movies. And Alien Covenant is coming out next year, so I'm excited for that. But we haven't really heard that much more news about that movie. It's going to have Michael Fassbender back in the role as Michael, I think the character's name was.
I don't know, but he was really cool.
Yes.
His role in the first movie as the android was awesome.
Yeah, and he's
the best part.
He's just a head now. That's all he is.
He might have gotten a body during the meantime. We don't know.
In this movie, from what we've heard, there's been a lot of time that has passed, and Naomi Rapace, who was the lead in the first movie, she's not in this movie.
Oh.
So, I think that's been confirmed that, she said she's not in the movie. So
I don't care.
Yeah, well, it makes me interested because it's like how much time has passed, because, he's an android, he can survive forever, pretty much. So we're going to see what happens there. And I'm excited to hear plot details about the Predator, because that's what's going to get me excited, because, the promotional material hasn't been that spot on so far.
I like the first Predator. It's good, cheesy fun. The second one I don't remember too well, but I remember kind of liking it. I think it was good, again, cheesy fun. The third one wasn't as terrible as I thought it would be, but it wasn't very good. And then the Predator Alien movies were just... I hated those movies.
Yeah.
And I saw the first one in the theater. Oh, God. I wasted my money. It was so horrible. As for Alien Covenant, I liked Prometheus. And I like Ridley Scott as a director. He's good at directing, things visually. He makes good visual epics. So I have more excitement for Alien Covenant than I do Predator. But I want to hear a little bit more about it before I get my hopes up too much.
Yeah, I definitely do want to hear more about it. And
it's been messed around with too much.
Yeah.
The names change. Ridley Scott said, I'm directing it. I'm not directing it.
Yeah, Ridley Scott, he's had a lot of things to say, or he's had a lot of issues with this movie because he doesn't really know what he's doing, I think, at first. But then now he's got his footing, he's on the ground, he's got this movie going. I don't know when they're going to start filming, but hopefully soon. So we'll see what happens with
He did The Martian, so now he wants to go back in space.
Yeah.
That might be it.
Yeah, they're gonna find Matt Damon again.
He's lost again.
Yeah.
The son of aliens hunting him. Anyways, let's move on to item number 5. A new report claims that Game of Thrones actor Finn Jones has been cast as Iron Fist in the upcoming Netflix series based on the character of the same name. Jacob, this is a a little surprising if true, because Finn Jones is a white man.
Yes.
But Iron Fist traditionally is Asian.
Okay. Well,
is that true?
See, that's what I thought because from the comics I've read, he's always been an Asian character.
Okay.
But originally, he has been he's sometimes a white man, and then there's alternate alternate versions where he is an Asian person.
Oh, kind of like the Green Lantern.
Yeah. But he's always been the same character of, I can't remember what the guy's name is, Danny something. But he's always been that character. But there have been like revamps and reboots out along the line where they've changed his race.
Okay.
And so I know him as an Asian character, but not that many people have been terribly offended by this because they know him as a white character.
Okay.
So it makes more sense to me after I've known that. But there actually was something I read that it's a very interesting point of view. An Asian person saw this and was like, "Oh, thank God, because we don't need another Asian martial arts character."
Ah, right, the generic martial arts. Oh, he's Asian, so obviously he has to know karate or kung fu or some stupid shit.
Yeah, so that is a very interesting point of view. So I do like so if that's what they're going for, then it makes sense. And we've seen this character on Game of Thrones. He had a very small role.
He was one of the Lannister cousins. He was banging Cersei for a bit.
Yeah.
When Jaime was captured.
Yeah, because incest. But
that's how they roll. The Lannisters. Gotta keep things going, Jacob.
Yeah, true. But now he's been cast as Iron Fist, and there's been a report going around that he's going to appear in the last episode of Luke Cage before he spins off into his own series, because they have their own thing in the comics. Luke Cage and Iron Fist, heroes for hire.
Oh, I am just generically excited for all this Netflix stuff because what we've seen so far of season 1 of Daredevil and the first season of Jessica Jones was awesome.
Yes,
it was awesome. It was the best comic book stuff on TV. Yeah, I think. So I'm really excited about this.
Yeah, and Daredevil season 2 comes out soon, only a couple of weeks now.
Oh no!
Yes, I'm so.
Oh, the binge watching! I got so much stuff I'm behind on, Jacob. This is gonna be tough. Oh,
I'm just gonna take one afternoon and just watch the entire thing.
Oh, well, we'll see what happens. Let's move on to item number 6. In a recent interview, Star Wars actor Daisy Ridley has revealed that her, Mark Hamill, and the filming crew of Episode 8 went back to Skeleg-Michael Island to reshoot the final scene from Force Awakens.
Yeah, so remember, we saw this teaser for Episode 8.
Which was also the ending of Episode 7.
Yes. Myself, and a lot of it, people just assumed that they showed that scene, the ending of Episode 7, and then they showed the director going, cut, and we were like, oh yeah, that's just like him, like, he's saying that it for another scene.
Right.
Like, they just, like, cut that together that way. But apparently, they shot the ending scene again.
That's interesting.
For Episode 8, so this is going to break away from the traditional, like, break in between Star Wars movies, where, like, it's been a year or two in between the movies, and now, apparently it's going to pick up right from Episode 7.
Why do you say that? Because
they shot the scene again.
Because they shot the scene just for this little goofy promotion? And they could have been back on the island for other reasons. Like, so they're back on the island, and they're going to do other stuff that's like a year later, let's say. But then for fun, for promotional reasons, they shot that one scene. They're already on the island for other reasons. Yeah,
I think that they... I don't know. I think they definitely are on the island to shoot more stuff with, because it's very hard to get permission to shoot on this island because because remember when she's like, you see her in the movie walking around, you see like all those like small like little huts and everything.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like it's
like a national park.
Yeah, a historical landmark.
Oh, okay.
So it's very hard to get permission to shoot on this island. So they probably went back and shot everything that they needed to shoot there, and then left. And I think that it is going to pick up right there, and then they could mix it up even more, and then go, like a year later. Like we hear what Luke has to say when he sees her, and then it says like a year later.
Okay. What do you want to see?
I want to see the traditional, honestly, just because, I'm a purist, I guess. I want to see the traditional...
Purist scum!
I want to see the traditional Star Wars, like how they've always done it, where there's been a time lapse and they fill you in with the crawl at the beginning.
Yep. Okay. Saying the prequels did the same thing.
Yeah.
The time lapse from the crawl. I really have no preference here, so we're just gonna see what happens. But Geeks of the Movies is gonna review Star Wars Episode 8, obviously.
Yeah.
Let's move on to item number 7. Lionsgate has announced that Saban's Power Rangers has officially started production and has announced the official plot synopsis. Oh my god, this is so epic. Remember how epic I was talking about Ghostbusters?
Yeah.
This is double epic.
Yes.
Double the epic of Ghostbusters.
All right. So I'm going to read you guys the official synopsis for Power Rangers.
Let's do this.
All
Let's
right.
do this.
Saban's Power Rangers follows 5 ordinary high school kids who must become something extraordinary when they learn that their small town of Angel Grove and the world is on the verge of being obliterated by an alien threat. Chosen by destiny, our heroes quickly discover that they are the only ones who can save the planet. But to do so, they will have to overcome their real-life issues and band together as the Power Rangers before it's too late. Alright, so what did you think about that awesome reading that I just did of Saban's Power Rangers?
Fucking garbage. Oh my god. That's the actual synopsis.
That is the actual synopsis.
Wow.
The
It's
official.
literally the original Power Rangers where they're in Angel Grove. That's the
Yeah.
city they're in. And half the episode is their teenage, problems. And the other half is them fighting super villains.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yep.
This is going to be hideously bad. Oh my god.
I remember I read this when I saw the story came out and I read this synopsis. I was just cringing, like, oh my god, this is so bad. But it just proves to show that they're doing that they're targeting the fans of the original Power
Right.
Rangers.
That they are. That's definitely it. 'Cause that's what it was.
Yeah, they're going full camp and they're not going. They're not trying to be serious about this at all.
No.
That's what it seems like, at least from the synopsis and from everything else that we've heard about this movie so far.
It sounds. I mean, if you just read that to me and be like, "What is this?" I'd be like, "Oh, that was the plot for the original season 1 of Power Rangers." That's the plot basically. Evil aliens and having their everyday problems they do. I mean, that's the plot.
Yeah.
And it's goofy and it's silly and it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And this is gonna be goofy, silly, and ridiculous.
Yeah. And I also read this other thing where the cast they interviewed everyone all the Power Rangers and
They're all cast.
Yeah.
Oh, because they start production, of course.
yeah,
they are.
and they're all young kids, like 20 years old.
Right.
Yeah.
They'll play like 15-year-olds
Yeah.
or whatever.
And they didn't really say anything about the movie, but all they did was gush about Elizabeth Banks and working with her. They didn't say anything about the movie though. They were just like,
What's Elizabeth Banks' role?
she's the villain. She's the evil witch.
Rita Repulsa?
Yeah, Rita Repulsa.
There's gotta be more bills up. They must have Lord Zed.
I'm sure that they are going to have.
They have to have Lord Zed take them.
other villains, but I just can't get excited about this movie because
Don't.
I'm not really a fan of.
Don't be cautiously optimistic like you were about Ghostbusters.
I'm
Keep your
not-
hopes very low.
I remember when I first heard about this movie, I was like, unless they take a completely different take on this project, then I'm not going to be excited about it.
They never have. I mean, they've made a couple Power Ranger movies already, and they have a bunch of series. There's a whole bunch of them.
And they're still going too.
Right, and that's always that same tone.
Yeah.
The only time I saw a different tone was for a fan-made video. We saw the fan-made thing.
Yep.
That was fan-made. It had nothing to do with the Saban.
Yeah,
nothing to do with those people.
It was, and also it wasn't really Power Rangers either.
Yeah.
I can see why they're not taking that approach with this.
But that would be awesome,
Yeah,
though.
I know, it would definitely. That would get me excited. But I can't really get excited about this movie, even though I really like Elizabeth Banks as an actress. I love seeing her in things, but she's playing Rita
Repulsa.
Like,
The humanity.
Man, we're gonna watch it. Like, we're definitely gonna watch the trailer when it comes out.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
It might be so bad it's good.
I'm probably gonna throw up though.
We'll make sure to video his reaction.
Yes.
That'd be epic. The epic projectile vomit from watching Power Rangers trailer. Let's now move on to the part of the show that we have to call Geek Talk. We're gonna get that piece of paper off the table one of these days. Cobb, what are we talking about today?
Today we're talking about what are we talking about? Oh yeah, we're talking about what novels or short stories we'd hope to see made into films. Do you have any in mind? Oh yeah, right there.
Ah yes, the epic Children of Hurin. J.J.R. Tolkien's first novel in like 30 years because it came out long after he died. It was edited by his Christopher Tolkien might be his son, but he might be his grandson. And it took a bunch of manuscripts that Tolkien had, and he pieced them all together to recreate this story, Children of Huron. It's even darker than Lord of the Rings. So you have Hobbit, really light, Lord of the Rings, which is, it does get fairly dark, Lord of the Rings, but this gets even darker. There's more incest between the brother and sister, so it's just like Game of Thrones. Yeah. So you got that incest in there, you got that violence, you got all the stuff you want.
Just from hearing your description of this novel, I actually be excited to see this because, with how popular things like Game of Thrones are now, if you took the Tolkien world and put a darker feel on it, I think that would work really well.
I mean, Lord of the Rings was like that first major fantasy movie where it had a darker tone, where it was taken seriously, and he kind of screwed up with The Hobbit, but we'll forget about that for the moment. But I mean, this has all the Tolkien stuff you love. I mean, right on the front, you see pictures of elves. There's clashes between elves and dwarves. You see the great the eagles. Basically the get out of jail free card that Tolkien uses when he can't think of anything else, and then we forget about them conveniently for most of the rest of the story because they're basically get out of jail free card. You can do whatever you want with the giant eagles. So this is really what I want to see, and I'm thinking there's also the Silmarillion, another famous Tolkien work. That could also be adapted.
That would be hard though because it's a bunch of different stories, right?
It is a bunch of different stories, but you could pick one of the stories, like the creation, and you'd have a lot of free artistic reign because unlike Tolkien's usually well known for his detail, Hobbit being excluded, but The Hobbit was his first work. But after he did The Hobbit, he was very well known for lots of depth and detail. But with like the Silmarillion, you could take just one of the stories, which are kind of broad. They don't give you all the exact details and fill it in with stuff that we know and love. Just don't get Peter Jackson to do it, please. Yeah. I want someone else. So I would love to see more Tolkien stuff. And it seems like why wouldn't movie executives jump on it?
Yeah.
I mean, The Hobbit. As much as I had a lot of problems with The Hobbit prequels, the trilogy of The Hobbit, I had a lot of problems. But you know what the studio didn't have a problem with? Was making money off those. Yeah. They made a lot of money. You can see our reviews of The Hobbit. We just came out with The Hobbit, Unexpected Journey. We'll be reviewing the second movie pretty soon. But basically, I want more Tolkien. More Tolkien.
All right, yeah, for me, I'm going to go back to Stephen King. The one that I really want to see by him that hasn't, well, it was made into a movie, but I think it got pretty bad reviews, and it was like in the 90s, but it's the Salem's Lot. I really want to see Salem's Lot turned into a movie, especially because, everyone's really tired of vampires now, they after Twilight and everything, they kind of mucked it up. And
there's so many.
And people are starting to try to bring back the real vampire with, Dracula Untold, but none of those have been, successful.
Movie.
Yeah, but
don't watch that movie.
Yeah, Salem's Lot was the first Stephen King book that I read, and I was like 13 when I read it, and it scared the crap out of me. I was terrified, but I loved reading at the same time because it was a great story, and it has, the classic vampire. Like there's like the lead guy, and then there's his like assistant, who's basically Nosferatu. He's basically that kind of character. So I'd really like to see that brought to life, and I'm sure some producer somewhere is talking to Stephen King about it right now because he has like all of his books and short stories are like have at some point been at least considered to be turned into a movie. Like I'm pretty sure you're talking about this one. Short story that he won an award for being adapted into a movie right now, and he has his book 20-something 63 is the date that JFK got assassinated. That's the name of it. That just got turned into a Hulu series. I have the book. I haven't read it though because it's really long. Like all of his books.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So is it a historical drama? Is it a what if? What is it?
It's a science fiction historical, because this guy finds a time machine and goes back to when JFK got assassinated, and then he prevents from happening, then goes back to the future and everything's all fucked up, so he goes back in time again to try to stop himself from stopping the assassination. I don't know.
Actually sounds kind of cool.
Yeah, it does sound kind of cool. I don't have Hulu though, so I have to find it somewhere else to watch it, but James Franco is in it. He's the main character, so I'm
Have you seen like trailers or anything?
Yeah, it seems pretty interesting.
Does it look like it has good production values?
Yeah, it definitely is a historical drama from what I've seen.
Because that sounds kind of tied to me like The Man in the High Castle.
Yeah.
There's like a sci-fi element going on in the background. I might actually want to see that.
Yeah.
That sounds kind of cool.
And another Stephen King novel that is being adapted right now. I'm pretty sure they might be done with filming. I'm not sure, but it's Cell, which is kind of outdated now because there was the whole thing where old people were like, "Oh, get off your cell phones, kids," and because it was back when people had flip phones, and it's about this signal that gets it turns people into zombies basically, but they're more intelligent than everyone's connected by all the zombies are connected by this telepathic thing.
They're hive mind zombies.
Yes, and
all right,
and it stars John Cusack and Samuel L. Jackson, who also starred in the adaptation of 1408, which I haven't seen. I heard mixed things about it. I don't really want to see it though, but but I actually be interested to see that movie, and I really hope Samuel L. Jackson is playing as at least for where John Cusack's character is. He's the lead zombie, and he's wearing a red hoodie because he's supposed to be the Crimson King from the Dark Tower series, because Stephen King likes to connect literally everything to the Dark Tower series.
So just a question about Stephen King. So are all his books slightly connected with every other book? Or just the Dark Tower series connects to their books?
Yeah, the Dark Tower series connects.
Okay. But those individual books that are being connected, they really are not written with the idea of other books.
Sometimes he mentions towns, like fictional towns that he's created in some of his other books and things like that.
That's how, I gotta say, just an aside on Stephen King. I've never read a Stephen King book. I'm not interested in Stephen King. He sounds like an author that goes, I know how to hook him.
Yeah.
Because if you read a few of his books, then you get more enjoyment about reading the other books. Because, I remember that reference. I remember that reference. It's like the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You watch one movie, and it's good or bad, right? If you watch a bunch of movies, then every other movie you watch is kind of better. Yeah. Because you know all the details. Yeah,
I only watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because it's the Marvel Universe. But
no other reason to watch it.
Yeah, no other reason. One other thing, I read this book. I'd actually like to see this, but it would have, if they're going to stay true to the book, they would have to. It would have to be after at least a couple of the Dark Tower movies have come out. It's called Insomnia. It's about this old guy, so it would be interesting because we usually don't see older people in lead roles, especially in action movies and things like that. Who he basically he can't sleep, and then it has this weird thing with all these aliens and shit, and I don't know. It definitely wasn't one of his Stephen King's better books.
An old guy that can't sleep and has weird shit with aliens and shit.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jacob.
You're
drawing me in.
It wasn't one of Stephen King's better books, but it connected to the Dark Tower series more than any of his other books that I've seen. And because it was in the middle of while he was writing the Dark Tower series. Okay. And before that, he would just take his older projects and then bring them into the Dark Tower series. And then at that time he was creating things to connect to the Dark Tower series.
Just a question about Stephen King again. Back to Stephen King. Is he have a lot of books? Is he really prolific? Is he known as a prolific writer?
He writes constantly.
Okay.
Yeah, he's always writing something, and
he's not the guy that wrote Game of Thrones.
Yeah, he's not J.R.R.
J.R.R. Martin.
Yeah, J.R.
Right, who takes forever to write anything.
Yeah, I remember back when I watched Family Guy. You're a fan of Family Guy, right?
Yes.
There was this part where Stephen King's sitting down with his editor, and he's like, "All right, what do you got for me?" He's like, "It's about a lamp that attracts people." And then the editor's just looking at him. He's like, "All right, got on the phone, right?" And then he's pointing the lamp at the guy. Yeah, that's basically what he does. He takes everything, tries to make it horrifying, but. I like it. He's a good writer.
He likes it. All right, then. Let's move on now to the bar show that we usually call Old School. This is where we talk about any movie over 10 years old. Real simple, right, Jake? What are we talking about?
Today we're talking about Star Wars: The Phantom Ship. Okay, so I want to talk about this because we talked about all the other Star Wars movies, so might as well talk about the prequels now. we have a lot of things to say about this movie in particular because I want to start off with I actually like the prequels to an extent because I grew up with them as much as I grew up with the original trilogy. Unlike people who were waiting for this movie to come out for years and then were extremely let down by it. So yeah, well, that's your signal to go.
Oh, that's my signal. All right. Well, I'm not exactly a big Star Wars fan. I wasn't exactly waiting for years, but I was in high school at the time when The Phantom Menace came out. So I had seen the originals, years before, and I had excitement. We skipped a day of school to go see Phantom Menace, and when we got in, we were so excited, so pumped. And then my friend fell asleep 2/3 of the way through the movie. And then once we got out of the movie, we didn't say anything to each other for like a couple minutes. And then, I can't remember who it was, me or my friend, but one of us was like, I'm not sure if that was a good movie. So we said something like that. And then slowly it dawned on us this movie sucked.
Yes.
It's a terrible, terrible movie. It did not get Star Wars right. The Episode 7 is Star Wars.
Yeah.
It feels like Star Wars. Episode 1 feels like some CGI crap fest that makes no sense, and it references Star Wars characters.
Yeah, I'm actually going to rewatch all of the Star Wars movies again because one of my friends hasn't seen them, so we're gonna just do a big marathon.
No Cheez-Its!
I'm not gonna show them. Now I'm gonna.
No, that's nice. That's very cruel.
I know it is very cruel. But I want to get their honest opinion about the original cuts of the movie.
Fuck the original cuts. We're gonna talk about the no Cheez-Its at some point. Jacob shove this into the show, but I actually want to have a segment where we review all the movies, and I'm not gonna review the original movies because they're all gonna be 1 star because I think they're all terrible.
Yeah.
All 3 prequels I'd give 1 star. Even the 3rd one, which I think is slightly better, but it's still I think total garbage.
Yeah.
But there's these no Cheez-It versions where they actually make the films better, like noticeably better. Especially the 3rd one, it's way, way better.
Yeah, I agree with, especially on the 3rd one. That makes that movie actually a good movie.
It's weird. It's actually kind of weird. I'm like, what? This is not bad.
And in the first one, they fixed Jar Jar Binks because I remember when I watched the episode 1 again. As soon as Jar Jar Binks goes on screen, I'm like, oh god damn it! I'm gonna start screaming. I'm gonna start swearing. It just pisses me off so much. Qui-Gon, why'd you have to save him? God damn it. I'm pretty sure...
Misa, thank you for saving me! Misa Jar Jar Binks! Misa fucking idiot!
Why George Lucas?
George Lucas, I hate you so much!
I remember recently, I think it was at a Star Wars Celebration, they had George Lucas come on screen and they presented him with an award. Because he created Star Wars.
Good job.
But then he starts talking. He's like, oh yeah, I based Jar Jar Binks a little bit off of Goofy. And then they're just like, get
Shoot. They had the hook thing. Pull him off.
But so yeah, it shows that he still likes these movies. And, he was really let down by the fan. He was really disappointed by the fans' reaction to the movies because these are very personal films for him.
Yes.
Because he did them all by himself.
He had total creative control. Everything. Even those videos of him talking about the movies, you can see the people in the background. They're literally just background elements.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm working with these people, but they do what I say. They don't have any input. I have the input.
Hayden Christensen was like, "What are you doing to my acting career? I'm not going anywhere after this." But
George Lucas should have been like, "What are you doing to my movie?"
And he should have been even more like that to the kid that he cast in episode 1. Yippee! Oh man, it makes me want to. I remember I was explaining to someone who hasn't seen the prequels before. I was explaining what they were like. I was like, I watch them when I want to laugh, cry, and then kill myself. Because really, they do all those things, and it make me fall asleep too. Because the first movie, I remember I rewatched it. We were trying to rewatch them all. I didn't get all of them, but before the Force Awakens came out, and I didn't remember. I hadn't seen it in a while before then, so I didn't remember how much crap there is in the middle of that movie.
Yeah, it's boring. It's just boring shit.
Just dense a block of nothing.
Nothing. You're right. Yeah. Like he's working at that shop. They're trying to work out some deal, and
I remember I literally blocked up everything between when they got off the planet like after Darth Maul attacks them for the
Yep.
first time, and then when they meet the Gungan people in the forest, and Natalie Portman reveals herself, says it's the people, but I really blocked out everything because it is like it just doesn't add anything to the movie. Like this movie didn't add anything to Star Wars either.
Right, it's almost completely ignored. Like you don't really hear about any. You don't hear about Darth Maul again.
Yeah.
Qui-Gon didn't matter.
Darth Maul was the only good thing about the movie, and that's why they brought him back in expanded universe stuff. Because like,
Why'd they kill him?
I have to mention this. This is a spoiler if you haven't seen the Clone Wars TV series or you aren't watching Rebels now, or if you are watching it but you're not caught up and don't want to know anything about it. I remember we talked about the season 2.5 trailer for Rebels on the show, and there's this part where this guy's like, he says, "You can call me Old Master," and we were talking about like, "Ooh, is that Snoke? It's Darth Maul. It's Darth Maul. They're bringing him back into Rebels." I'm really excited about that. And
Interesting.
what if? I know you don't care about the animation. What if they have a fight between Darth Maul and Darth Vader? That'd be sick. That would be awesome. Have that be Darth Maul's end, because they've had him since like episode 1 and they can't kill him off because
He's already been killed off in my universe.
He's already been killed off, and they don't want the fans to kill him off again because.
But they can have Darth Vader kill him off and it'll be acceptable.
Yes, yeah. So I want that. Spoilers are over. This is the sign. The spoilers are now over. But
what's the sign?
Yeah.
Just making shit up now. I'm just doing what I do.
But if you haven't seen the Star Wars prequels, but you insist you need to watch them.
Right.
Like I would say,
if you're a masochist.
Yes. Yeah. You want to torture yourself. Watch the originals first. Then take a break, and if you feel like torturing yourself one day, just put on the prequels. Watch them in order, but honestly,
no cheese edits.
Yeah, watch the no cheese edits. They're better. They actually make the movies acceptable. I still think the first two aren't at the movie at the level of good movies.
No, the first one is still terrible, even with the no cheese in it.
Yeah, but then the third one, it's actually a good movie.
It's a lot better. I mean, I'm not sure if I'd quite bring the good, but I have to watch it again because I actually.
Yeah.
I was so impressed by it when I saw the third one. I'm like, maybe I was too impressed, so I need to see it again. Yeah. Maybe because I remembered a lot of the horribleness, and they got rid of that, and it makes it a lot better.
Yeah. So. Yeah, definitely. If you're not a big Star Wars fan, you don't need to watch Episode 1.
Don't waste your time. Just do it. It's meaningless.
Yeah, just read a synopsis about it if you're that committed to it.
You can start with Episode 2. Literally, you can literally start with Episode 2 if you have some interest, some.
Yeah, literally. I've heard some people say you can watch the Clone Wars series and skip the first 2 movies completely. Watch the Clone Wars series, then watch Episode 3, and then you're fine.
You're good to go.
Yeah.
Anyways, the new movies, at least based on Episode 7, they are not like the prequels. They are like the original trilogy, a little bit modernized, but that's what I want to see more of. I'm going to be so pissed off if I see Episode 8 and it's a big CG crap fest.
I don't think it's going to be the case because the director Rian Johnson, he's worked very well with low budgets. In his film Looper, extremely low budget film, it was almost like an indie film. But he made it he made it feel like a big, sci-fi.
Excellent, good.
Action movie. Yeah.
So he's not going to rely on gimmicks like Lucas did to make it a big thing.
Yes.
All right then. Well, Jacob, sadly, we've reached that time again. The end of Geeks at the Movies today. Where can they get more great Geeks at the Movies content?
You can like us on Facebook. You can follow us on Twitter at Geeks at the Movie. Drop the S. Where can they email us from? geeksatthemovies.ct@gmail.com. We want to hear from you. We're always getting more great guest geek segments, so if you want to be on the show, you're in the Willamette, Connecticut area or nearby, email us right in the comments below. Let us know. We want to hear from you. You got something to talk about. Anyways, though, my name is Shane Goodrich. Jay Bezos.
And we've been Geeks of the Movies. Bang!
Hey!
Bezos! Bezos! Now you're looking daddy now. That's dangerous beast.
sock. A very dangerous dirty sock.